Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to stop pretending. It's time to stop with the excuses, stop with the maybe someday, and stop being satisfied with mediocrity. You know what the world is looking for? Power. You know what it rewards? Strength. But not just any strength. The strength of someone who has decided to stop being weak, to stop being held back by fear, by doubt, by weakness. If you want to be a monster in this world, you have to make a decision. You have to choose not to remain the person you've always been. You have to embrace the pain of transformation, because the pain of staying the same is far greater than the pain of growth. You don't just want to survive, you want to thrive, you want to dominate, you want to leave a legacy, you want to become a force that can't be ignored. Now, but to do that, you need discipline. You need to make your mindset your most powerful weapon. You need to wake up every day with a fire that burns so bright it scares the people around you. And it's not just about physical strength. It's about mental and emotional strength. Strength in your choices, strength in your habits, strength in your words and your actions. When you stop being weak, you're no longer just a spectator in life. You become the one who leads, who makes things happen. You become the one who is unstoppable, unshakable, a force to be reckoned with. So ask yourself right now, are you going to stay where you are, or are you going to step up and become the monster the world is waiting for? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to stop pretending. It's time to stop with the excuses, stop with the maybe someday, and stop being satisfied with mediocrity. You know what the world is looking for? Power. You know what it rewards? Strength. But not just any strength. The strength of someone who has decided to stop being weak, to stop being held back by fear, by doubt, by weakness. This message, if you want to be a monster in this world, you have to make a decision. You have to choose not to remain the person you've always been. You have to embrace the pain of transformation, because the pain of staying the same is far greater than the pain of growth. You don't just want to survive, you want to thrive, you want to dominate, you want to leave a legacy, you want to become a force that can't be ignored. But to do that, you need discipline. You need to make your mindset your most powerful weapon. You need to wake up every day with a fire that burns so bright it scares the people around you. And it's not just about physical strength. It's about mental and emotional strength. Strength in your choices, strength in your habits, strength in your words and your actions, strength in your words and your actions. When you stop being weak, you're no longer just a spectator in life. You become the one who leads, who makes things happen. You become the one who is unstoppable, unshakable, a force to be reckoned with. So ask yourself right now, are you going to stay where you are, or are you going to step up and become the monster the world is waiting for? You have to understand that the moment you make the decision to change, everything starts to shift. It all begins with a decision. An unwavering commitment to stop being the person you've always been and step into the person you're capable of becoming. Change doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstance, or the perfect opportunity. It comes when you decide to take control of your life and make things happen. You see, we often talk about wanting success, wanting growth, and wanting change. But most people are waiting for something external to push them into action. They're waiting for a sign, a wave of motivation, or a life-altering event to wake them up. But that's not how it works. The truth is, you have the power to decide right now. You have the power to decide that this moment is the turning point, that you will no longer accept mediocrity, that you will no longer allow yourself to live in weakness and fear. The problem is that most people fail to make this decision. They hesitate, they doubt, and they delay. They think they need more information, more time, or more confidence before they can act. But here's the reality. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never change. Change happens in the moment you decide to act, to take that first step, no matter how imperfect it may seem. It's in that first step where your transformation begins. When you make the decision to change, you're not just making a choice for today, you're making a choice for your future. You're telling yourself that you deserve more, that you can be more, and that you won't settle for anything less. And once that decision is made, you don't look back. You don't second guess yourself. You commit, and you move forward with purpose, knowing that change requires work, but it's work worth doing. The decision to change is the most powerful choice you will ever make. It's the decision that puts you on the path to greatness. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, all the dreams, ideas, and goals you have are just fantasies. floating in the air with no solid foundation. Discipline is what transforms your potential into progress. It's what takes you from wishing for success to actually achieving it. And here's the truth. Success is not an accident. It's the result of consistent, disciplined effort over time. Most people think that success comes from inspiration or motivation, but that's not enough. Motivation comes and goes. It's like a wave. Some days you feel on top of the world, other days you feel defeated. But discipline stays with you. It doesn't depend on how you feel. It's the daily commitment to doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to, even when it's hard, even when the road seems long and unyielding. This is where most people fail. They give up too soon, they stop when things get tough, or they quit when results don't show up immediately. But discipline says, stay the course. Discipline says, keep showing up, even when no one is watching, even when no one applauds. Discipline is about doing what's necessary to get where you want to go, no matter the distractions, no matter the obstacles, and no matter the setbacks. It's easy to get excited about a goal and dive into action when the idea is fresh. But true growth happens when you push through the hard moments, the moments when your motivation has disappeared and all that's left is the commitment to your discipline. Discipline is the habit of doing things you might not want to do, but it's also the habit of doing them anyway because you know they're necessary for your growth and success. It's the quiet force that keeps you moving forward when the excitement fades. You need to embrace discipline if you want to achieve anything significant. It's the work ethic that separates the dreamers from the achievers. Discipline will take you further than desire ever will. It's what keeps you focused on the long-term vision, even when the immediate results don't seem to justify the effort. It turns your weaknesses into strengths and your failures into lessons. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about making progress every single day, one disciplined action at a time. And that is how you build the life you want. Strength doesn't just happen. It's something you decide to have. It's a choice you make every single day. You can either choose to stay weak, to let the challenges of life knock you down, or you can choose to rise, to stand tall and to fight. The moment you realize that strength is a decision, you stop waiting for external circumstances to make you stronger. You stop blaming life, the world, or other people for your weaknesses. Instead, you take full responsibility for your own growth, your own power. It's easy to believe that strength is something you're born with, that only certain people have it in them, but that's a lie. Strength is developed through choice. It's the choice to take action when the rest of the world is making excuses. It's the choice to show up even when you're tired, even when you've been knocked down, even when things don't seem to be going your way. It's the decision to persist when the world would rather see you quit. You can be weak and let life control you, or you can choose strength and take control of your life. Strength isn't about physical power alone. It's about mental, emotional, and spiritual fortitude. It's about making decisions that move you closer to your goals, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable. It's the courage to stay committed to your vision, even when the road is rough. Understanding that the choices we make today will determine the direction we go to forward in the future. Strength is about building habits that support your growth and constantly striving to be better than you were yesterday. Every day presents you with opportunities to choose strength. When things get tough, when you face adversity, you can either shrink away or decide that you're going to be the person who rises above it. You're not a victim of circumstances. You're the master of your own destiny. The choice to be strong isn't about never facing difficulties. It's about choosing to grow through them, to learn from them, and to use them as stepping stones on your way to greatness. When you choose strength, you no longer wait for things to change. You take action, you make decisions, you take responsibility for your results. Strength is the decision to take your life into your own hands and do whatever it takes to make things happen. And that's how you become unstoppable. The way you think determines the way you live. Your mindset shapes every decision you make, every action you take, and ultimately the life you create for yourself. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. You must transform your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility, from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Most people are stuck in a mindset that holds them back. They think they can't do this or that because of circumstances, because of their background, or because of their current situation. But the truth is, your mindset is the one thing you have total control over. You are not limited by your environment or your past. You are only limited by your thoughts. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. The choice is yours. Transforming your mindset means letting go of the old beliefs that keep you small. It means eliminating self-doubt, fear, and the voice in your head that says it's too hard or you'll never make it. It means replacing those thoughts with empowering beliefs, with a mindset that says, I can do this, I am capable, and I will succeed no matter what. A successful mindset is one that sees opportunities where others see problems, that finds solutions when others see obstacles. It's a mindset that is focused on growth, on learning, and on getting better every day. It's a mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity, that strives for excellence in everything it does. And it's a mindset that understands that failure is not the end, but a part of the process. Failure is a lesson, not a setback. And it's the mindset that sees failure as a stepping stone toward success that will always move forward. Now, when you transform your mindset, you stop thinking like a victim and start thinking like a victor. You stop waiting for things to change and start making things happen. You stop looking for excuses and start finding reasons to push forward. A transformed mindset is a powerful force, one that can overcome any obstacle, break through any barrier, and turn dreams into reality. This is the new reality. So take control of your thoughts. Choose to focus on what you want, not what you fear. Surround yourself with positivity, with people who uplift you and encourage your growth. Read books that expand your mind, challenge your beliefs, and push you to think bigger. Your mindset is the key to your future. If you want to change your life, you must first change your mind. Fear is something we all face, but it's how we respond to fear that truly defines us. Most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid fear. They shy away from challenges, they hold back from opportunities, and they let the fear of failure paralyze them. But the most successful people in the world don't run from fear, they face it head on. They understand that fear is not something to avoid, it's something to conquer. Fear is the fastest way to decline. They face it head on. They understand that fear is not something to avoid, it's something to conquer. Fear is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. The problem isn't the fear itself, it's the way you allow it to influence your actions. When you face your fears, when you confront them directly, you take away their power. Fear only holds you back when you give it the space to do so. You need to look fear in the eye, acknowledge it, and take action anyway. Every time you avoid something because of fear, you let that fear grow. It gets stronger and stronger. And the longer you ignore it, the more it controls you. But when you step into it, when you act in spite of it, that fear begins to shrink. It's in the doing, in the facing, that you find your strength. The fear never disappears completely, but it becomes smaller and less significant with each step you take toward it. Facing your fears doesn't mean you won't feel scared. It means you act anyway. It means you understand that growth lies on the other side of fear. And if you want to become better, stronger, and more successful, you have to learn to move through fear instead of running from it. Fear is a signal that you're on the edge of something big, that you're about to do something that could change your life. When you face your fears head on, you gain confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable, that you can handle challenges, and that you don't need to let fear dictate your future. You also learn valuable lessons along the way about resilience, about perseverance, and about your own power. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who decide that fear will not stop them. They understand that fear is just an obstacle to overcome, not a roadblock to success. Point Bernie. So don't run from fear. Run toward it. Step into the unknown with the confidence that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. The more you face your fears, the less they will hold you back, and the more you'll achieve. Fear is temporary, but the strength and courage you gain from facing it are lasting. Every time you face fear, you take another step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. Excuses are the silent killers of success. They sound harmless at first, but over time, they accumulate and become the very reasons why people never achieve their full potential. Every excuse you make is a roadblock you're putting in front of your own success. And it's not just about the big excuses, the ones that sound obvious or dramatic. It's the small ones too. It's the small ones too. The little justifications you make every day that allow you to avoid the work, to stay in your comfort zone, and to keep living in mediocrity. The truth is, excuses don't help you. They don't protect you. They don't make life easier. They only keep you stuck. They're the mental shortcuts that people use to avoid responsibility, to dodge hard decisions, and to avoid facing the discomfort that comes with growth. Every time you make an excuse, you're telling yourself that you're not ready to change, that you're not willing to put in the effort, and that you're not ready for the next level. And with each excuse, you reinforce the cycle of inaction. The moment you decide to stop making excuses is the moment you take full responsibility for your life. No more blaming circumstances. No more waiting for the right time. No more letting fear or doubt dictate your decisions. Success is not for the excuse makers. It's for those who decide to do what needs to be done, regardless of the challenges, the hardships, or the setbacks. Every person who achieves anything significant has faced moments of doubt, fear, and resistance. But instead of giving in to excuses, they've chosen action. They've chosen to push forward when it would have been easier to stop, to stay comfortable, or to let life happen to them. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the ability to take ownership of their actions, to accept that no one else is responsible for their success but themselves. We can't control outcomes. We can't control the choices or ideas we make and how we live our lives, but we can control how we choose to be. You need to get to the point where excuses no longer have a place in your life. Excuses are just a way of staying the same. They keep you from reaching your full potential and stop you from growing. When you remove excuses, you open up the door to possibilities. You begin to realize that the only thing holding you back is your own unwillingness to take the next step. Start taking ownership. Stop justifying why you can't and start focusing on how you can. The moment you end the cycle of excuses is the moment your life begins to change. No more waiting for the perfect conditions. No more blaming the past. No more self-doubt. It's time to stop making excuses and start making progress. Your future is in your hands, and the only thing standing between you and your goals is the excuses you continue to make. Let today be the day you break that cycle. Personal growth is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you want to live a life of success, fulfillment, and meaning, you must make the decision to commit to growing every single day. Too many people drift through life without a plan for improvement, relying on luck or chance, thinking that growth will just happen on its own. But here's the truth. Growth doesn't just happen. It's something you must actively pursue. It's a decision you make each day to learn more, become more, and do more than you did yesterday. And when you commit to personal growth, you're choosing to take control of your own development. You're choosing to invest in yourself, to push your boundaries, and to elevate your thinking. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start declining. Life doesn't stand still, and neither should you. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Growth is a constant process, and it requires intentional effort. The key to growth is consistency. It's about making small improvements every day, focusing on progress, not perfection. Whether it's reading books, learning new skills, developing better habits, or seeking out mentors who can challenge you, every step forward is a step toward your best self. But here's the catch. Growth isn't always easy. It's not always comfortable. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and sometimes doing things that make you uncomfortable. But it's in those moments when you push past your limits that you grow the most. Too often, people get distracted by the external world, their circumstances, their setbacks, or the obstacles in front of them. But the truth is, your internal growth is what truly matters. When you commit to growing as a person, your external world begins to change. Your mindset shifts, your actions align with your goals, and your results reflect your commitment to becoming better. You can't expect to achieve extraordinary results if you're not willing to put in the work of personal transformation. Growth isn't just about acquiring new knowledge. It's about becoming a new version of yourself, one that is more capable, more resilient, and more confident. The best investment you'll ever make is the one you make in yourself. Commit to learning, to challenging your beliefs, to expanding your vision, and to continually developing your character. The growth you experience will not only benefit you, it will create ripple effects that positively impact everyone around you. When you grow, your relationships grow. When you grow, your opportunities grow. When you grow, your life grows. So, make a commitment today to become the best version of yourself. No more waiting for the perfect time. No more relying on motivation alone. Make the decision to invest in your personal growth, and every area of your life will begin to improve. Personal growth is the key to everything you want. It's the foundation of a life well living. Motivation is fleeting, and it's a mistake to rely on it as the driving force in your life. On any given day, you can feel motivated. You wake up full of energy, ready to take on the world. But by the end of the day, that motivation can fade. It's simply not consistent enough to rely on if you want to achieve long-term success. And here's the reality. Relying on motivation is like trying to fuel your car with fumes. It's just not enough to keep you going for the long haul. What separates the successful from the unsuccessful is not motivation, it's discipline. It's the ability to show up and do the work even when you don't feel like it, even when the excitement is worn off, even when there's no one cheering you on. Success doesn't come from riding the wave of motivation. It comes from creating habits, routines, and systems that keep you moving forward day after day, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Second, the truth is, motivation doesn't get you through the hard days. It's the decision to stay disciplined, to keep your commitments, and to push through when things aren't going your way. When you rely on motivation, you put your success in the hands of something outside your control. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes with your feelings. But discipline is internal. It's a steady, reliable force that propels you forward regardless of your mood or circumstances. Collective competence, by contrast, comes in several stripes. It's the ability to establish goals and maintain a positive attitude. The key is to build systems in your life that don't depend on motivation. It's about creating routines that force you to take action even on the days when motivation isn't there. It's about developing habits that make doing the work automatic so you don't have to think about it. Success comes from showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when it feels like the world is working against you, and continuing to do the things that move you closer to your goals. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, focus on what you can control: your actions, your choices, and your commitment to the process. Create a plan, set goals, and take consistent action. These are the things that will move you forward when motivation is nowhere to be found. When you stop relying on motivation, you free yourself from the ups and downs of emotional highs and lows. You create a path of steady progress, and that's where true success is built. Don't wait for motivation to come knocking. Get up, get moving, and take action. Success isn't about waiting for inspiration. It's about making the decision to do what's necessary regardless of how you feel. Motivation will come and go, but discipline will see you through to the finish line every time. Failure is not the end, it's the beginning of something better, something stronger. Too many people are afraid of failure, thinking that it defines them, that it marks the end of their journey. But in reality, failure is just feedback. It's not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to get one step closer to success. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they respond to failure. Successful people don't let failure stop them. They use it as fuel to drive them forward. They understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. They look at failure as a teacher, a guide, and a source of strength. It's in those moments when things don't go according to plan that the greatest lessons are learned. It's in the struggle, the challenge, and the adversity that true growth occurs. You have to stop viewing failure as a negative. Failure is simply part of the process. It's a necessary ingredient in the recipe for success. When you fail, you gain valuable insights about what doesn't work, what needs to be improved, and where you need to adjust. These lessons are priceless. The only true failure is when you quit, when you stop trying, when you give up on your goals. As long as you keep moving forward, every failure becomes a stepping stone, a chance to improve, and a catalyst for greater things. Don't let your failures discourage you. Let them motivate you. Let them remind you that you're pushing the boundaries, that you're taking risks, and that you're not settling for mediocrity. Use the pain of failure to fuel your determination. Use the frustration to fuel your focus. Use the disappointment to fuel your drive. When you use your failures as fuel, you tap into an energy that will keep you moving forward, no matter how difficult the road gets. When you face a failure, don't dwell on it. Don't allow it to define you. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? What do I need to do differently next time?